Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015, whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the U in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for everybody that views us. Thanks for everybody that leaves nasty, crazy comments. One day I'm going to have some time for you and respond back. Don't forget to catch us every Friday at 7 p.m. on the Friday Fix and every Sunday here at the Sunday Town Hall. That's at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Senior Wesley, welcome back to America. We are very happy to have you here.
Hey, man, it's America. We got a lot of situations going on right now, but there's nothing like, that kind of gets you like a little bit of infighting. You know what I'm saying? No one thought that this administration, at least we didn't figure it would happen so quickly, this administration would get into infighting. But it says Marco Rubio unleashes his fury on Elon Musk in a heated cabinet meeting, report says. Secretary of State Marco Rubio launched into a heated argument with Elon Musk during the cabinet meeting, according to a new report. Elon Musk went back and forth on Thursday in front of President Donald Trump and nearly 24 others, the New York Times reported. Rubio has been privately furious at Musk for weeks over his role in dismantling USAID, which the secretary believed had been under his control, according to the Times. The conflict began when Musk accused Rubio of not firing State Department workers despite mandates from the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Rubio reportedly shot back, pointing out that 1,500 State Department employees had taken early buyouts, which should be tallied as a reduction in the workforce. He then sarcastically asked Musk if he should rehire those employees just so they could be fired again, mocking DOGE's stumble in firing workers they had to rehire soon after because of bad decisions. Then Musk accused Rubio of being just good on TV, the Times reported. The argument stretched on for an uncomfortable time before Trump finally intervened. Trump, after silently watching the exchange, said Rubio is doing a great job, and he said he has a lot to deal with, according to the Times. He added that everyone needs to work together. Appearing to recognize some of the growing anger with Musk, Trump reduced some of Musk's power at the meeting. The president made it clear that while he supports Musk's work, he has also noted that only the cabinet members would be in charge of any firings, and the billionaire's team would only advise, the Times reported.
Good.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, they went to go sell off some of the CIA buildings, right? And actually gave up secret locations. You know what I'm saying? The CIA secret locations. Think about it. They're firing so many people that they're having to, think about it, you get fired on a Friday or on a Saturday, and an email that comes at like 9 o'clock in the morning when you're asleep. And then they call you back on Tuesday like, hey, aren't you the nuclear guy? We're going to need you back, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, aren't you from the EPA? Sorry, we knew you were keeping the water. We're going to need you to come back. Hell, you don't run me, bitch. Excuse my language, but I'm just saying. I couldn't imagine. You're not going to fire me and then tell me I need to come back to work. Like, I don't need to do nothing.
I think this infighting right here is really like important to kind of watch because I feel like when you look at it, Marco Rubio is probably, it's hard to even say this, but he might be one of the only like people who believe in the actual, rule of law, the American way, things of that nature. I don't know. Let's see. I don't want to give him too much of honor right now because you never know how he might turn out. But you looked at him. He looked really super uncomfortable during that Ukraine meeting with Zelensky when they were talking about, hey, don't you got a suit and all these other jokes they're making about a person whose country is at war, who's lost hundreds of thousands of lives, who's lost children, all kinds of stuff. And so he kind of looked like he was doing the Homer Simpson's slinking into
the bushes.
Yeah, he kind of looked like he was doing that in the chair. And then again, you look at it from the perspective of when Donald Trump talked about Marco Rubio during the State of the Union address. He pointed out Marco Rubio. He said he's doing a great job. He said, I was really happy to see that everyone in the Senate voted to confirm Marco Rubio. He got 100 votes out of 100. He was like, I don't know if I should be happy or if I should be worried about that. You know what I mean? And Marco Rubio's face kind of went flush. You could see his cheeks kind of like rosy and, like kind of like he was embarrassed, like might be something. But when I look at this, I mean, for him to have the gall to stand up to Elon Musk speaks volumes.
Most of those people, Marco Rubio, at the end of the day, he's an established Republican, right?
Yeah.
But see, they brought this up at the beginning of Trump's administration. They're like, a lot of Republicans are going to have to look at what their life's going to be like after Trump passes away. Because, he's going to stay in there for as long as he wants to. But like, what is your political life going to be like after him? You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to do so much damage. Are you going to be around? Are you going to okay it so you can fall with him when it's over? You know what I'm saying? And Marco Rubio, he probably believes in the Constitution. He was supposed to, remember, he was up for vice president, but they gave it to J.D. Vance. You know what I'm saying? Marco Rubio still got something in the cabinet, but you're looking at Elon Musk. You're just like, bro, you're an idiot. Like Elon's never invented anything, bro. He just bought into companies. He bought into Tesla. He bought into SpaceX. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time they whipped out the Cybertruck or whatever, right? He was like, oh, these windows are bulletproof. Took a rocket, threw at it, and the rock smashed through the window.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
You remember that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, and with this situation, it's like you're watching like kind of like his whole entire the mantra of who Elon Musk is kind of like erode away.
Yeah, like
little by little, like because before he gave Elon unlimited power to do what he wanted to do. But now he's watching how this playing out as a debacle, as Elon's firing people, hiring people, lying about how much money he's finding. Oh, this is fraud. This is waste. This is abuse. Yes, there's a mice that was they're doing it for a transgender mice, and it's like transgenetic or something like that. Something that has to do with like learning how human cells interact with how human cells can fight viruses within a mice. Not saying that he's just making up lies and feeding them to Trump, and then Trump's looking dumb having to defend this stuff. That's why he's bringing them. I'm starting to see maybe a little bit more clear. The reason why he brought you in front of these people so you can answer the questions yourself. Yeah. I'm having to answer for your dumb mistakes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, for what you're doing.
Because you're firing the wrong people. You're like, yo, they're those are his voters that are getting fired. These are the important jobs. People don't understand. Oh, you need to make government smaller. Then you start realizing what these people actually do in the government, and they keep you safe. They keep your water clean. They keep your skies clean. You know what I'm saying? They keep everything safe around you because we're naturally stupid people, and we can't take care of ourselves. And so Elon Musk, he thought he could do it like Twitter, right? Twitter don't even run right. I ain't been able to change my profile picture for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, to me, when I'm looking at what he's doing, like the job that he's actually doing there, he hasn't found any waste. He hasn't found he's just making a debacle of the department. And I think that's what Donald Trump is kind of starting to see. He's having to deal with way too much BS over letting this billionaire pretty much buy him. And everyone knows it. Everyone sees that he's bought. This isn't, you already have cases against you when we're looking at Russia. Now you got a case against you. We're looking at this guy right here. I mean, everything is kind of like sticking to you right now, Trump. I think he's looking for someone to scapegoat and say it's their fault.
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of.
I remember I told you that's what was going to happen, right? I was like, look, he hired all these people around him. So when things start going wrong, he can fire them. Mm-hmm. And Elon's probably going to be the first one to go because Elon's he may be smart, but he's not intelligent. Oh, excuse me. He may be intelligent, but he ain't smart. Like, think about it, he thought he could just go through all these governments and just fire everybody because he doesn't know how America works because he's not from America.
Yeah, I mean, he says never ran a country. You can't just go. I mean, the point of it is, okay, yeah, you don't care about clean water. You don't care about these things because you already have all these things set up for yourself. The rest of the country, we don't. We don't have someone to make sure that the food is checked out before it gets to us. We don't have that. That's the government's job. So they normally do it. Now you're firing people in departments. They're like, and you're making sure they can't spend any money. So they're like, oh, man, I can't even buy any tests. So it's going to be a lot less tests being tested. Our food's going to be not tested as well. But you're touting yourself as a president who's pushing the health agenda with RFK Jr. And you're leaving your departments, your FDA and your food departments without testing material to test basic meats and things like that your people are eating. Yeah. So what's going on here? I think that I'm happy to see Marco Rubio actually stood up to Elon Musk and actually had something to say. And he had a good quip for him because you remember when Trump was like, whoever doesn't like Elon, they can leave. Yeah. And this was a very good, this was like, okay, somebody needed to say something and someone finally did.
Yeah, they need to because Elon, he's an idiot. He's going to make Trump look worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we can save all this money. And he didn't do nothing. He just made him look worse. He's like, yo, these are Republican voters. They're like, bro, I voted for you. I lost my job. People are having town halls like, look, you're cutting funding to all this stuff
the
that
VA.
we need.
I mean, he's cutting funding to the VA. I do know that like a lot of government workers are ex military.
That's
a lot
what
of them
it was. That's what sparked it all too. Is when he cut 70,000 jobs to the Veterans Affairs, and that's where it was. That's when they were like, yo, bro, you're tripping.
And then they started looking at it like, you know what? A lot of these people who you're firing just in the government in general were once vets because it's a lot easier for a vet to go into the government and get a job because they've already worked in government. They are more than happy to want to hire their own people.
And then they're seeing what he's doing because in a lot of the departments he's firing, he's weakening them so he can go in there and put his companies in there and get those get the money for it.
Get the contracts. He's FAA. That's on NASA. I mean, you look at. These are different things that he's already invested in. He's definitely doing that.
Yeah.
You know. So
I want to bring this one up. Sheriff Bianco claims new California bill would make self-defense illegal. Riverside County Sheriff and gubernatorial candidate Chad Bianco says a recently introduced bill in California State Assembly would make self-defense against criminals illegal. AB 1333 was introduced by Assembly member Rick Zubar of Santa Monica on February 21st. According to the California Legislation Information website, the bill seeks to eliminate certain circumstances under which homicide is justifiable, including, among others, in defense of habitations or property. The description goes on to say that the bill would additionally clarify circumstances in which homicide is not justifiable, including, among other things, when a person uses more force than necessary to defend against a danger. So basically what this law is saying, like if someone breaks into your home, you need to try to run away inside of your home before you can defend yourself.
Okay. I mean, so you pretty much have to put your life in danger first, like even further than what it already is.
Yes.
In order to be able to defend yourself. This is going too far. What is he running as? What? Is he running as a Democrat? I would hope not. I would hope he's not running as a Democrat. I hope he's not the front runner. I don't like Gavin Newsom as it is, but I definitely hope his term limits are pretty much coming to an end right now. If there are term limits in California, I think there might be 2 8-year, 2 4-year term. I think that Arnold Schwarzenegger will need to run for like maybe 8, maybe 12. I'm not sure. But let's hope Gavin Newsom's out of there. Let's hope this guy's not the front runner, because this is a horrible law. I have to run from you after you've already broken into my house. Now I got to run again. Yeah. How much running do I got to do?
Well, they're saying like AB 1333 was never intended to limit crime victims' rights to defend yourself, your family, or home. The goal is to prevent wannabe vigilantes like Kyle Rittenhouse from provoking violence and then claiming self-defense after the fact.
Nah,
we will
sound
amend
right
the bill to make this crystal clear, he said on X.
He said they'll amend the bill?
Yeah.
Go amend the bill. Then do that. Don't make this about a person having to, I got with a carjacking. Do I have to try and drive away in my car, maybe take some shots in the back or something like that?
Think about this. Somebody steals your car, right? They pull you out the car, they steal your car. You get your gun out and you shoot them. You're going to jail.
You're going to jail
because he's not a threat anymore. I'm like, well, he's a threat to me. He has all my information in my glove box.
He got my car. Period. He pulled a gun on me, first of all, and got me out. The only reason I'm not dead right now is because I got out the car and gave him my stuff. The stuff I worked my life for. I got to give you my stuff in order for me and I still might go to jail if I give you my stuff, then defend myself after the fact. Well, you were a threat to me the entire time, bro.
We got the guy over here in Port Orchard. He about to go to jail for the rest of his life. So what happened was these people bailed this guy out of jail with stolen credit cards, right? Bailed him out with stolen credit cards. As soon as he got out, they started going through the neighborhoods, searching people's mailboxes.
Okay.
To steal their mail.
Yeah.
As soon as they got out of jail.
So they can find more credit cards.
More credit cards and more stuff. A guy comes out, see them going through his mailbox. He's like, hey, you stop. They try to take off. He busts at him, shoots the guy that just got bailed out.
Kills him.
Right?
Okay.
So the guy that killed him is now he was found guilty. You know what I'm saying? And now he's going to jail. It's crazy how they're making tax-paying citizens that obey the laws. We're allowed to be victimized by criminals.
Let me say this though, first of all. That case right there, brother, over your mail, bro. You're killing him. He down the street. Wherever was he on the porch? Was he on the porch taking it out your mailbox right off the porch? Or was it one of them ones that right by the street's house? Right by people's houses, they just picking up mail. You gonna shoot him and kill him?
Who to say he's not a threat though? What if he finds something in the mail? Ooh, this.
What if he go, man? What's a threat, brother? I'll just keep it real, bro.
What's not a threat?
Listen, if a person is across the street stealing rocks out of somebody's yard, can I go outside and shoot and kill them for that?
Well, did they buy the rocks off Temu or are they naturally there?
I understand what you're saying. I know you're making a joke out of this right here. But that's
special Temu rocks that glow in the dark because they absorb the sun. I pay money for that.
Let's be real right now, man. So you're saying this is the craziest thing I ever heard. A threat to your life is different, bro. But if you see somebody, I come outside, I'm yawning early in the morning, and I see somebody down at the neighborhood mailboxes. There's a bunch of them. There's like 10 of them right there, and I don't know who that person. I started shooting at them. Can I do that? No, does that make sense to somebody to kill somebody over your mail?
If the police roll up and somebody's dead in my yard and they hold my 6 garden gnomes like this, You know what I'm saying? I think it was justified. Don't come
over some garden gnomes, brother.
Hey, bro. Hey, my gnomes is people too.
Nah, that's different. They never pulled a gun on you, or never. Your life was never at danger. They never tried to break. They never tried to come into your house or anything else.
Okay, well, here's a police response.
Should you be able to kill a person? Was he even on his property when he killed him?
No, he's taken off.
You understand? He wasn't even on his property when he stole the mail.
Your mailbox is on your property.
No, not all of them are.
It's not one of the ones I've seen. The ones where it's like they're all like
like a community. That's what I was asking. Even if it was one, even if it was one at the
property.
end of, most times it's not even on your property because they're probably reaching over onto your property because the mailbox normally sits at the very edge of your property, so it's hanging out in the street so that the post office person doesn't have to get out the car and give you your mail. Let's be real.
But it's like this. It's saying if we're fighting, right?
So he killed him for no reason.
If I ran up on you and I punch you 20 times, and then you whip out a gun and I turn around and start running, now they're saying you're no longer a threat. I'm like, you are a threat to me.
Wait. You said we were fighting.
No, I was fighting. I ran up on you. I started punching your big head all over because it takes me forever because it's so large, right? I'm like this. I'm like, and then I run away, right? And then you whip out a gun and shoot me. Now you're in the wrong.
I mean, hold on, wait. I mean, first of all,
you're right. I gotta do the right size. Yeah.
If we were fighting, and it was like, unless you just came and attacked me.
That's what I'm saying. I was attacking.
You attacked me, then I whipped out a gun as you're running away and shot you.
I'd have to get a pinata stick. I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying? We look at it. I mean, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean, even indulge in this kind of conversation with him. We see what's going on here. Everyone's obvious. We look at this, you know what I'm saying? It's obvious. But anyway,
it has to be a long stick. It's obvious.
Point of it is though.
Yes. Go ahead.
To be serious about it, it's like, I don't think that person should be able to just kill somebody if they're not like, I mean, considering was there ever a threat? Did the person try to enter your home? Did the person try to come on your property? And I mean, any kind of a threat to the
government. I mean, what the look? The people come and steal my mail one week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? What if they come back now that hey, it looks like this guy has all these orders and all this stuff coming. Then they come and double back. How do I know they're not a threat to me still? You know what I'm saying? Think about Homeboy shouldn't have been out of jail. No way. They used stolen credit cards to bail him out of jail.
So if you got into it with somebody, then at some point
he shouldn't have never been free.
What I'm saying, man, he should have been free. I mean, come on, brother. You're going to just say so stolen credit cards now. You shouldn't be free for stolen credit. What else you shouldn't be free for? This is why certain people should never be. You about to have everybody locked up forever, brother.
He was already locked up.
Stolen credit for theft, basically for theft.
No. They used stolen credit cards to get him out of jail.
What I'm saying is. So basically, theft is what got him in there, right?
So think about it. Okay, they steal this guy's Social Security check.
He should have never been out in the first place.
Right? How does he get it back? You got to file. The police don't even come out for it. The police won't even come out. You're a victim in your own area. The police won't even come out. You got to go online and type it up and be like, yeah, they stole everything I loved in my life. Thank you, officer, for reading this. And they'll never come and find your stuff. The cops.
So hopefully you got insurance. But if he comes inside your home, and you catch him in there. You should be allowed to kill him. Yeah, if a person's even outside your home, like they want to come in, you should be able to go knock them down if they won't get out your yard. That's separate. But if he's at the edge of your lawn, stealing your mail, and then driving off, you start firing off down the street on him. That's a problem, bro. That's like murder. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have no reason to kill him. He stole your mail, bro. I mean,
I think
for real.
I think it was justified.
Okay.
I think it was. You know what I'm saying? We live in a time now where I pay taxes, I have an HOA fee, and a criminal can come up and rob me and steal everything of mine, and then he's the victim.
No, that's not true. I mean, robbing you and stealing everything yours, it means he has to come into your home or he had to come on your property. He don't have to come on your property to steal your mail. He just don't. And I mean, and this dude wouldn't even have known that he was stealing the mail until he came out. He didn't even know this was anything was going on. It's like he looked at us window like, hey, something's going on in the street. Oh, he's stealing my mail. I get it. He can say, hey, stop, take a picture of the license plate, but it's your mail, brother. Okay? It's your mail. Most things are not coming in the mail.
I got your Temu rocks. Try to drive off.
Okay. Hey, Trump walks back tariffs on a range of goods from Mexico and Canada for 1 month. President Donald Trump issued exemptions on tariffs for a variety of goods coming into the United States from Mexico and Canada just 2 days after he put the sweeping tariffs in place, leaving investors and business grappling with the whiplash of his back and forth trade policies. The exemptions to the 25% tariffs enacted Tuesday would apply to about half the goods coming into the United States from Mexico and around 38% of the goods from Canada that comply with the North American trade deal reached during Trump's first term, according to senior administration officials. It's the second time in less than 2 months that Trump has announced and then backtracked on tariffs on the United States neighbors. The moves have rattled the stock market, with businesses warning that the added cost could drive prices higher and cut into their profits. The Dow Jones Industrial Average and the S&P 500 are on pace for their worst week since September. They can't keeps getting pushed down the road, and we don't know what that means, said Chuck Dardis, president of Alpha USA, an auto parts manufacturer in Livonia, Michigan. He later added, to make investments and do things we need to do, we need to have some certainty. Not that we can have a perfect certainty, but not be on consistent diet of, well, we'll wait till next month to see if the axe is going to fall.
You know what he's doing? He doesn't understand. He thinks he's using this to like bully Canada and Mexico into, you know, coming back to the bargaining table or to sway his way. But what it's doing is destabilizing us as a country, because the people in the stock market are like, yeah, I'm gonna hold back. You know, manufacturers are like, yo, we don't want to do nothing. Canada's already pulled all the American. They're like, we ain't even messing with y'all.
Shelves,
all the liquor off the shelf. They're telling people, don't go, don't be a tourist in America. We're not buying nothing. They had a trail that takes you from Washington to, I believe, is it Washington or is it Michigan? It's a trail somewhere right there on the border that takes you up through America and brings you up to Canada and then brings you back down. And Canada cut that off. They're like, nah, we're not playing with you. They're like, look, we're quick to forgive, but you're not going to bully us. And Mexico's like, hey, and Mexico pointed out this too. They're like, look, you're talking about the fentanyl. They're like 80% of the people that are busted bringing fentanyl into America from Mexico are Americans.
I mean, so it's at a point right now where it's a game. He knows he can't win this type of a trade war. It would be destructive to all parties. And stock market, everyone, he played the American people to make you guys think that this is what he really wanted to do. In his mind, he probably does. He probably thinks, I'm going to try to keep my word. But everyone around him is like, you know, this will tear apart the entire economy, and all the people who gave you money, they're going to run from you. They're going to run to the heels from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. You know what I mean?
Because he's losing the money.
It just doesn't make any sense what he's trying to do right now. And at the same time, though, you're going to affect so much of America. I mean, you got to remember, 70% of our imports of oil and come from China. From Canada and Mexico. 70% come from there. Where are you going to get that from? What other place are you going to go to? You're willing to sit here and side with Russia, sit down and have talks with Hamas, sit down and have talks also with Iran, but you don't want to work with your northern and southern closest trading partners. These are two biggest trading partners that you have. What sense does this make what you're doing? Because honestly, it seems like to me that this is a person who's coming here as a Manchurian candidate and is trying to tear apart America from the inside. You look at even on Russian TV, they're talking about this like, hey, he's doing such a great job. He's doing our job for us. This is on Russian TV. They're saying this stuff.
Yeah. And the whole thing is like, it doesn't make sense. What does he get out of it? Because, I mean, if our country is destabilized, he won't be in charge because we're going to be under attack anyway.
It ain't going to matter. He's spreading his hustle everywhere he's at. I mean, once you're bought, once you got billions, it doesn't matter about what country the money's going to.
Jimmy Kimmel ran it through Chat GPT. They're like, with all the knowledge, you see that with all the knowledge that you have right now, do you feel Donald Trump is a foreign agent for Russia? And they're like, yes, 80 to 85% he is, from his business dealings to, because I mean, you know, he kept losing money. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I just, like I'm saying, where is he going to live if America crumbles?
Yeah, he can live anywhere. Doesn't he? Go to Europe. He can go to Russia. He can go anywhere he wants. America is not going to crumble the way people think it's going to crumble. Crumbling for America won't be like, say, Greece or one of these other countries or something like that.
Apocalyptic buildings.
Yeah, I mean, we'll still have money here. There'll still be good things going on. We just won't be top dog anymore. Once you're not top dog anymore, then you start getting treated like second fiddle. The reason why countries give us goods for so cheap, even I think there's something we were getting from Canada. I can't remember. He was like, we give you our metals or something like that for such a ridiculously low price because we're big dogs. They understand they got a big dog. Nobody's coming over here to deal with Canada, act funny towards Canada because they know they got a big dog. Just like when Russia sent those I think there's some submarines or something like that, or some war battleships down to Cuba. Who sent their battleships down there as well? Canada. This person is doing this on purpose. And you guys are making excuses for this as well. Too. I'm watching you make excuses for what you see in front of your face. I got plenty of people on my Facebook page who do it all the time. Make excuses for why he's willing to go to war for Russia, but not for your trading partners from the north and the south.
And they even said it too when the Palisades, California, when California was burning. Canada sent firefighters and Mexico sent firefighters.
Ukraine sent over equipment as well when that was going on.
And he's kicking out 450,000 Ukrainians.
I think, yeah,
which I mean, they can kind of go. I mean,
to me, they came over for sanctuary. Period. I mean, for something that they came. I'm not mad at them being here.
I saw how they treated the Black Red Cross workers and how they had to warn them, hey, you know, they're going to call you this, they're going to call you all these racist words. Yeah, they can go.
We're at over in Ukraine.
In Ukraine.
Don't
Look, they didn't even let the black people on the trains. They were y'all getting bombed, everyone getting shelled. They were like, whoa, we ain't got time to live, but we got time for racism. Like,
I'm gonna say this: there's always gonna be time for racism in this world that we live in. This is what it is, man. For me to look at them and say you shouldn't be racist, I look at most Europeans like they're probably racist? Probably. It's probably a good portion of them that are racist as hell because you only live around who you live around. This isn't me making excuses. It's not like I love Ukrainians for any particular reason. It's like I look at Jewish people in Israel who do the same thing to black people down there. I know that most of you, how most of you really feel about,
I think
black
after
people.
World War III, we should go on a trip to what's left of Europe.
I mean, shit, we could go before that. Hopefully there's
no. We're going to go after. We got to see which countries survive. I ain't playing that. Let's go before. We're going to be in the middle of the war in trenches with do-rags on. No, get the niggas in the ground. Get them. Have them go.
Hey, U.S. citizen detained by ICE questions vote for Trump. Just following Hispanic people is what he called it. A naturalized Virginia resident said he's questioning his vote for President Donald Trump after agents from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement detained him this week when they were looking for another person on a deportation order. Genzi Mercado said he's a U.S. citizen and provided NBC for Washington documentation of his legal status. Mercado, who's was driving to work Wednesday with two other men when he was stopped by ICE agents near his home, he said. Confused by the scene, Mercado said he didn't know what was happening and why agents surrounded his pickup truck. They just got out of the car with guns in their hands and they say, "Turn off your car. Give me the keys. Open the window," Mercado told Telemundo's 44 reporter who first reported the story. Everything was really fast. According to Mercado, the agent said the name of a man who had a deportation order, someone who had given Mercado's home address. Mercado told them that wasn't his name. He didn't know anyone by that name and offered to show them his real ID compliant Virginia driver's license. They didn't ask me for any ID, Mercado said. I was telling the officer if I can give him ID, but he just kept telling me to keep my hands in the air and not to move. After that, he told me to get out of the car and put the handcuffs on me. An agent then asked Mercado how did he get into the U.S. and asked if he was waiting a court date or if he had a pending immigration case. And I told him I was an American citizen, Mercado said. He looked at his partner like, smiling, like saying, "Can you believe this guy?" Because he asked the other guy, "Do you believe him?" So basically, the further you talk about this case more, Mercado basically comes back and says that he feels like he voted for Donald Trump, but he doesn't feel he's feeling like these guys are just pretty much following people around and pulling over Hispanics or people who are, of Hispanic descent and running your ID and saying you guys are all pretty much here illegally.
Crazy. So let me guess. You're getting racially profiled. You're driving around. The cops suspect that you look like someone that looks like someone that did something. So now you have to sit in the car with your hands up. You're getting pulled out the car and put in handcuffs. You know what's crazy? I was talking to my family before I left the house. My mom's like, be safe. I'm like, what I got to worry about? I'm like, we black folks been living like this in America all our lives. Now y'all get to come down to our world. Welcome to the real America, folks. It's sad because, he's like, damn, I voted for this. Yeah, that's what you voted for. You voted against your best interest.
Absolutely.
You cut off your nose to spite your face. You wanted to own them libs. Now you have handcuffs on you because you got to prove you're an American citizen because you fit a description of someone else. But sir, don't forget, remember, just comply with the officer's orders, okay? Do what he tells you to do. Put your hands up. Tells you to get out the car, put your hands behind your back, lay on the ground. Comply with the officer's orders.
Hey, he said basically he thought they were just going to go after the criminals. He didn't think they're going to go after everybody. She was like, you think they're going after everyone? He's like, yeah, anyone who looks Hispanic, they're pretty much pulling them over and, checking them out. I mean, you act like you didn't hear him saying all this stuff when he told you guys that there was a Mexican judge who was presiding over one of his cases. He said he can't judge me. He's Mexican. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't. I'm not saying this guy was Mexican who was in this case, but I mean, you're Hispanic. You understand what that means. You know what I mean? I understood what it meant perfectly. I got it. Poisoning the blood of our country. I got it. Rapists and murderers. I got it.
I got it.
You know, like I understand all the way. Get them all out the country, eating the cats and dogs. I understood that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, total. Hey, it's like this comedian
police
said.
Get full immunity. We already know. And I told Wes that. I was like, he's like, man, they're gonna give cops full immunity. I was like, bro, we know how to act in front of the police. They've been shooting and beating our asses for years, hundreds of years. Bro.
Hey, there's absolutely, man. And there's this comedian. He said that, you know, if they came up to a car and it was like the comedian was Mexican, and he was like, if I was in a car full of black dudes and they said, all you N-words, get out the car. He said, I'm getting out the car too, because I know they ain't just talk about them. So when they talk about y'all, I get it. You know why? Because they've been talking about like this. This has been going on for a very long time, man. This isn't new to us. It's not really new to you either. You just thought for some reason, because you got up and go to work today every day like everyone else does, that it made you special. It made you different.
And it's not going to stop if you put a Trump bumper sticker on there. It's just going to make you a target. Hey, I remember, because people out here, they have those the blue back to blue stickers.
Yeah,
they're like, put that on your car, bro. Never get pulled over. I'm like, yeah, no, it don't matter if your name's Hector, Jesus, or Arnold. You know what you look like? Speedy Gonzalez. So you get pulled over, homie. That's what's gonna happen to you. All right. This is the life. This is the life you chose. I can't believe it. You voted for that. I bet that sucks, don't it? You got to go home, look at your ballot.
It's real deal.
Cry a little bit.
Yeah, your family members is going through this because you decided that you felt like there was some kind of camaraderie that you were giving. Yeah, get those people out of here, the criminals, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it's called one-issue voters. You know
Come
what I'm
on,
saying?
man. You guys better understand this is a lot bigger. I mean, at the same time, look, he's hurting your if you got a 401k, he's knocking that down. They've lost all the gains they've gained since he came into office. I think even more than that, even. I think he came in, the market might have been at 42 or 43 already.
Hey, bro. Hey, we ain't even made it to the summer yet. I keep warning everybody. Wait till the summer hits. Confusion
and chaos, man. That's what he truly is, man.
Hey, I mean, he can go home. He can go eat some egg breakfast. Oh, wait. Damn. You know, well, maybe, you know, you don't have to work, bro. You can go get some Social Security. Oh, yeah, that too.
Medicaid's out the door as well, too. They're cutting everything, man.
Crap. It ain't safe for you, homie. Don't go outside. You know what? Just tint your windows. Now that'll make it worse. They really can't tell who you are. Anyways, sir.
One last one right here. Trump administration cancels $400 million in federal dollars for Columbia University. The Trump administration says it has canceled $400 million in federal grants and contracts to Columbia University over what it described as the school's failure to police anti-Semitism on campus. The cancellation was announced Friday in a joint statement from the Department of Justice, Department of Health, and Department of Human Services, and Department of Education as well, and the U.S. General Services Administration. The decision was carried out, the statement said, due to the school's continued inaction in the face of persistent harassment of Jewish students. It's unclear what programs at the school may be affected by the cancellation. The statement said the funding pullback was the first round of action and that additional cancellations are expected to follow. The government also said Columbia holds more than $5 billion in federal grant commitments. In review of NPR, Columbia spokesperson said the school was reviewing the announcement and pledged to work with the federal government to restore Columbia's federal funding. We take Columbia's legal obligations seriously and understand how serious this announcement is and are committed to combating anti-Semitism and ensuring the safety and well-being of our students, faculty, and staff. To me, this sounds like extortion. It sounds like the government's getting involved in higher learning and trying to guide the way that higher learning, all education. It's just what it sounds like to me.
Sounds like DEI to me.
I mean, it just sounds. I mean, to me, when you're telling a person, hey, you're not protecting these Jewish students as good as you should have be protecting them. I feel like they're probably some of the most protected people anywhere in the world. Anywhere they are.
Think about it. You say something bad about them. Oh, you're anti-Semitic. Like, bro, you're out here touching little kids in Hollywood.
They're shutting down everybody. They're shutting down they shut down all kinds of stuff. I mean, they shut down Kanye. They shut down anybody who speaks about it.
They tried to shut down Kanye.
At any given time, he ended up working himself out of it. Which was, you know.
You can't look. Kanye said, "I'm uncancelable. You can't cancel me."
But at the end of the day, man, this sounds like the federal government is now dictating what schools should and should not be doing. This is higher learning. This is some of the most. We see who the Republicans care about. They don't even care about education. They rather get rid of the education department, rather get rid of school lunches for kids, all kinds of programs for kids, for seniors, for people who are not as privileged as they are easily. But now they're in our education department, our schools of higher learning, trying to sway them into what they should be talking about and what they should be doing.
You remember Mike Johnson got up on he left and got up on the steps like, y'all need to stop this. That because you're protesting a genocide. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that are doing the genocide are somehow a super protected class here in America for no other reason than that they have money.
that they spend money with AIPAC. Let's just be real. Let's look at it like this. So basically, the federal government understands what's going to come next. The schools are going to be who really goes after Trump for his agenda. Whatever his agenda may be, whether it's going in here and it's killing even more people in Gaza, whatever your agenda is normally the kids that lead the way. They're the ones who step out first and start protesting. They don't want to see that. They want to make it so they can run on these campuses, beat these kids, treat them however they want to, and then tell they're like, no more face masks either. Why? So you can start telling them they're not going to get jobs and treat people like however you want to treat them. This is actually what Netanyahu and those guys said. They don't want our kids to be able to wear face masks during protests. Remember they drove around trucks with their faces on the side of them, trying to show out, these kids, don't give them jobs anywhere. Not only that, there was another guy too. I think it was Bill Ackman, came out and said, hey, we should have the names of everyone who protested so we can make sure they don't get jobs on Wall Street, because you guys have businesses in this country. I don't care. I mean, if your allegiance is to Israel, go to Israel. Deal with that. Period. Don't come in our country telling us who you're not going to give jobs to. Just as quickly as other places have gotten you out of there, we should start looking towards who's right for our country and who's wrong. I'm not saying if they're citizens, they're citizens, but if they're using their citizenship illegally in this country to try and sway who should be able to go to school, who should be able to protest, speak their mind, then that's a problem. We should look into that. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm with that. And with that, folks, we're going to see you next time. This is Uncommon Courtesy. Once again.